I think it's totally irrelevant, those two guys. So I don't really think it's important. And I don't mean that in a negative way toward them.
Right there. That's who Rick's talking about.
I asked him about you two guys.
There is no way. He's got to be talking about the bookends of the Red and Blue Review. Welcome to the show, Gupper and the gang. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Guys, Thanksgiving week. We have much for which to give thanks this week. For one, we've got great football and great basketball, at least we hope, coming up this weekend. And with a take on what's going on Planet Red, let's talk about the guy who's on Planet Blue, Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws.
This is my turn to talk about Planet Red. And as everyone knows, Kentucky is not going to a bowl game. But I am a big enough person. I am going to man up, congratulate the Red team on becoming bowl eligibility. Way to go, Western Kentucky.
Cheap shot. By the way, our alma mater in your hometown.
Absolutely. Go Tops.
Now, you were covering a game this week that something happened I've never seen before, Howie. A coach walking off and shaking hands with the opposing coach while the game is going on.
His point guard, look, he's walking towards now. I mean, it's like 20 seconds left. His point guard's like, well, I guess he wants me to dribble it out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He got a technical. John Brady, of course. Look at the police officer running after him. Like, wait.
Come back in here.
The guy, John Brady's their coach, used to be at LSU.
Yeah.
And he got a technical early in the game when they had like 6 points after 20 minutes. I thought he was going to get thrown out. He was so incredibly disgusted.
Hey, when you score 27 points, you want to get thrown out. We've got a lot to talk about right now as we go into our lightning round. Who's Hot on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by Kentucky Corner, a couple of locations in Lexington, including the shops at Fayette Center and Fayette Mall, and on your corner by typing into KentuckyCornerOnline.com. Who's Hot from the University of Kentucky is Anthony Davis, who does almost everything really well, but he still doesn't even know how to play the game yet.
Yeah, you just got to get tougher right now. Until he does that, it doesn't matter what we do. You're just trying to throw balls at the rim, whether they're dunks or whatever. So you got to play, you got to bend over and play an aggressive game. You got to bend. It's not hard to bend over, bend those knees. If you're standing straight up and down, you have no leverage. Most guys are not strong from the waist up. They're strong from the waist down. That's where they get their leverage. And so if you're standing straight up and down, you have no strength, and then you have no balance, and then you look like you're flopping around out there. He's doing great. I don't know why you keep asking me. He's doing great. He's the #1 pick in the draft today, going away, and you're asking me about it. He's just got to, I'm not answering anymore. He's got to be stronger. He's got to play lower. He's getting opportunities, and he's not making them. He's missing free throws, but he's still.
He is a classic freshman who was so good in high school he didn't have to do a lot of stuff with the fundamental wise, and he does play too far up and down. He is not a true 5, and UK is trying to use him inside the paint more and more because he's the biggest guy on the team, and he's just going to have to learn. He is absolutely right. He's not bending over at all, and he got really frustrated against Old Dominion in Connecticut trying to match the physicality, and he ended up fouling out because he doesn't know how to foul discreetly. And he just got bumped around a lot, and he does have a lot of growing up to do, and that's one thing they've got to figure out. How are they going to get points in the paint, rebounds in the paint, because they're very athletic, as you just saw there, but will that fly against teams that are really physical if you run into a Big Ten type team in the NCAA tournament? What might happen?
Yeah, we'll get a good look at that when they play North Carolina. That'll be the next really big test for him and what he's doing on the inside. What's hot for Louisville is really their great defense. You know, when you play basketball in the Big East, you've got to pack your defense, as Charlie Strong likes to say in football. And when it comes to great communication as far as the defensive side of things, Rick says his team's there.
Communication verbally, switching. We're doing some awesome things that none of my teams have been able to master this early in time. So I'm very pleased with that. The whole team's doing a great job. I don't think there's one person sticking out. I think they're all doing a great job. They're all communicating, talking, and they're playing zone great. They're playing man great. They're pressing with intelligence. They're switching properly. They're blocking out. They're doing a good job. With the exception of a few missed blockouts, we did a good job there. So it's the whole team doing a great job.
You know, we're asking all during the preseason, what will this team be known for? And it's going to be great defense. I mean, you just saw that great block by Gorgui Dieng. They've got such good perimeter defenders on Louisville's team. They press extremely well. They're right up in your grill. And then if you get past everybody, there's Big Gorgui waiting back there. I mean, what do you do? I mean, Louisville's going to be a very good defensive team all season long, especially when you bring back Peyton Siva, and he can get into some steals and they put that press on you. I mean, that's going to be Louisville's calling card this year.
Who's not hot at Kentucky is Marcus Teague, the point guard. And Cal says really the only two things that Marcus Teague needs to become the kind of point guard the Cats need is more time and better coaching.
He's got a long way to go. turning it over way too much, and most of them are of the variety of what's the hardest thing I can do here versus just throw it to him. Just come down, give it early. 1 extra dribble, 2 extra dribbles almost every pass. I've got to do a better job with Marcus Teague, getting him to have a better feel, because obviously he's not understanding because he's not playing the way I want him to play. So that comes back to me, because he is listening and he wants to do the right things. He's just not playing the right way yet. But neither did our other guys. So it takes time.
Yeah, it did take time for the other guy. You start to wonder if he's not trying too hard, because we're a clip here of 4 or 5 consecutive turnovers all through the first half, and he's done it the last few games. He's just struggling to grasp. He is trying to make too hard of plays. He's trying to do too much, and there's times where he's trying to score on his own instead of trying to get everybody involved. You can see the frustration. It's really wearing on him, because just got a feeling guys like that, it's gone so easy all through high school, all through AAU, that this is the first time they've run into adversity, and it's part of growing up. And Cal has proven time and time again, he knows how to coach point guards. They just got to listen. They've got to grow together through this. It's interesting if Teague is any different than the previous point guards, or if he just wears his emotions on his sleeves, because he doesn't hide it at all how frustrated he is, and it's going to be fun to watch as he develops throughout the year.
Daryl, do you think he's got the right mental makeup to take that kind of coaching?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
He's talked about it from the beginning, and Deron Lamb warned him from the beginning, don't pay attention to how he says it, because he's going to ride you every day. If Terrence Jones messes up, you're going to get yelled at. That's the way it works as point guards under Cal, because Terrence Jones messed up because you didn't give him the ball in the right position, something like that. So just listen to what he's saying. Don't listen to how he says it.
And Cleveland State's going on probation, no matter what happens. Who's not hot for the University of Louisville is honestly their offense, which was really bad in that game against Arkansas State. And the Cards are going to have to awaken that offense, or they'll end up on the wrong side of an upset.
We're going to play 2 teams coming up that if we play offense like that we did tonight, we'll get blown out by 20 points. That's how good Ohio U is, and that's how good Long Beach State is. They're both terrific teams. I'm really, really impressed with Ohio U.
Yeah, they are. It's a big step up from Arkansas State, but frankly, everything's a big step up from Arkansas State. They scored 27 points. We asked people on Twitter, of course, what's better than Arkansas State, and we got about 100 responses. I mean, it's a lot, including Isaiah Thomas's coaching. So it's bad win. But I do think Louisville needs to step it up on offense. I think part of that is Peyton Siva being out. I think the other part of that is guys hunting shots. Chris Smith and Kyle Keurig are best when they're part of the offense instead of hunting shots.
Howie, one of the concerns I had coming out of that game, if you hold Arkansas to 24% shooting as they did, Louisville should have scored 80.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah. But what was it, 54?
Well, it was really bad. Louisville only scored 54. They shot like 35% for the game, something like that, and they missed like 13 free throws. I mean, it was a lot. I can't remember how many, but it was a lot of free throws. You just can't do. It was like Arkansas State's stink was infecting everyone. I mean, it was really bad.
One of the buzz items this week from the Kentucky side is really Joker Phillips' job. You remember right after Kentucky got waxed against South Carolina by 51 points, that's when AD Mitch Barnhart came out and said, Joker's my guy, we're going to stick with him. But even with that, Joker had to field a lot of questions about that during his press conference heading into the Tennessee game.
A lot of people didn't think we were going to be here, Well, I think we need to win this for the program, and who's been representing this program better than these seniors. Like I said, I'm focusing on this game, this goal that we still have out there. No, I came here to try to help change the perception of a team that was, that was not winning. I came here to help change the perception of a team that they said African Americans couldn't have success here. And we've had success here. So no, I didn't sign here for a coach. I signed here because I love this university too.
Yeah, Joker's talking about he came to UK originally for that reason, and he came with Rich Brooks because the program was in a mess, and now he's trying to do his best to build it up. And things have not gone well. If he is privately concerned about his coaching future, his immediate coaching future, despite what Mitch Barnhart has said, go win that Tennessee game. That will erase a lot of evils. At least play it really, really close and lose a heartbreaker. Something. They built back a little bit of pride with how they played at Georgia. That was a decent showing. You can't waste that by getting blown out at Tennessee, because you'll have all the offseason for people to bellyache. And how do you go into what really matters, season ticket sales, if you get killed by Tennessee and you say, hey, come spend a lot of money with us. We were 4-8.
Yeah, because if they come into that with a bad record and then you don't have Florida, you don't have Tennessee, and you don't have Louisville on the home schedule, that's a tough ticket
That's
to
tough.
sell.
You're right.
All right, the buzz at the University of Louisville really is about the bowl talk, and how you'll get into this in just a second of the delicious opportunities that await Louisville. But one thing we've learned about this Louisville football team, if they spend too much time looking back at previous wins or looking forward to games they're going to play, they will get beat and be leaking fake juice when they take on South Florida.
We're right in the thick of it, Ken, but I just don't want to address it. I don't know if we're mature enough to handle that right now. And then just with our leadership, I think the guys see it and they hear it, but just where we are right now, I try to get our guys just to focus on this next game. Hey, let's go beat South Florida, then we'll worry about where we are. Because really, at the end of the day, Cincinnati still has to go lose, so we need to take care of our business. And then if something does happen, then we're right back in the thick of things, and we're right back where we need to be.
I've heard that it explained easiest this way. There are 3 things that need to happen. Louisville needs to beat South Florida, West Virginia needs to beat Pittsburgh this weekend, and Cincinnati needs to lose a game of their last 2. Now, of those 3 things, the least likely to happen is actually Louisville beating South Florida, at South Florida. So I think Charlie's right to say absolutely no bowl talk. We don't want to hear about it, that kind of thing. It reminds me of one of my favorite sports bloopers of all time. The guy's looking backwards for the pass, wide receiver looking backwards for the pass, looking back for the pass, and runs smack into the goalpost.
I know that.
That is Louisville. They spend so much time looking backwards at how wonderful the last win was. They don't see the goalpost coming. And that's what I'm afraid of, for Louisville, South Florida.
Howie, let me get your take on our Facebook fan poll. We asked fans through Red and Blue Review on our Facebook this question: is this the final of the year that Kentucky snaps that 26-year losing streak to the Vols? Because this Tennessee team, they've got to win to get bowl eligible. That's how bad Tennessee is this year. 83% of the folks said more of the same. 17% thought Kentucky's going to pull off. Howie, give me your take on the battle for the Kentucky-Tennessee game this weekend.
That 83% is actually too low. It should be 99%, right? It should be Occupy Commonwealth or whatever, because there should be 99% and the 1% or whatever, 1%ers. Yeah, it should be 99% Tennessee.
Give us hope, Darryl. Is there going to be finally an end to the
There is
streak?
hope only because if you watch how they played against Georgia, they did really well considering how beaten down they were. Tennessee wasn't bad until Bray got hurt, and of course, Kentucky's timing is perfect. Bray is healthy again, just in time to come back and win the game for you. It'd be tough, but at least it is at home. And like I said, there's so much riding for next year for a lot of careers that you better go win, I think.
We come back, we're going to hear from a couple of UK football players who will talk about what may be the motivation they need to finally break the streak. But as we head to the break, DB, tell us about this week's issue of the Catspaw.
Appreciate it, sir. Big Blue Nor'easter. We spent the week in Connecticut. Before that, the game Madison Square Garden against Kansas. Basketball season in full force. You can check out all the stories there. A lot of stories, a lot of photos from the games in Connecticut and Kansas. 800-641-3302. We will deliver it to your doorstep every week.